Thank you, Madam Chair, and I really appreciate this committee. I think it's exciting. I think it's going to be an important committee, very bipartisan, all these issues, and looking forward to your and Senator Scott's leadership on this. Ms. Barnes, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned my Visit America Act, which is very bipartisan with Senator Schatz and Senator King. One thing it would do, it would establish an assistant secretary of Commerce for Travel and Tourism. As you and I have discussed, many countries have cabinet officials in charge of tourism. We don't even have an assistant secretary. Now, I'm not a big government guy, but as you know, when you're in the debates within the federal agencies, you need someone, Senate confirmed, to stand up for this huge part of our economy, which goes across so many states. Can you share with me a little bit of your perspective of the importance of this act? It passed out of this committee very strongly. Every senator but one voted for it, and we're going to try and move it again quickly this year.
Yes, thank you for your question and for your leadership on this issue. You're right, we're the only one of the top 30 global destinations that doesn't have a cabinet level person and or an arm that actually goes out and promotes travel. That's why we have Brand USA. So we believe very much that the leadership is needed. We've been very pleased with Secretary Raimondo's interest in how important travel and tourism is to the industry, but obviously she has many things to focus on. So we couldn't agree with you more that we'd like to see your bill introduced again quickly and passed. And we've already also raised with the Secretary the importance of elevating this position. So hopeful that we'll be able to move it forward. It's also something that we've talked to the Travel and Tourism Advisory Board at the National Travel and Tourism Office at the Department of Commerce about, and believe that with this type of leadership to really be able to draw that interagency group together, that we can set that national strategy to reopen not only domestic travel, but bring back international travel, bring back meetings and events. We need the whole of the industry focused upon, and having a cabinet level position would absolutely help do that.
Great, thank you. My next question is for you and Ms. Dover. I want to talk a little bit about the cruise ship industry. And you know, a lot of times the industry gets attacked for certain issues, but what I really want to talk about is how important this industry is to small businesses, whether in Florida or in Alaska. And if you can give us a sense on that. But also, Ms. Barnes, I saw that the U.S. Travel Association recently called for the CDC to end its ban on cruise ship travel in America. That's what our bill, Senator Scott and my bill, the Cruise Act that we introduced today, would do, and they need the guidance. And look, the CDC does a good job on the science. They've had a tough year, an important agency. My state has worked hard dealing with the health issues. We've been the #1 state in the country throughout the pandemic in terms of testing per capita, in terms of the vaccination rates per capita. We're proud of that in Alaska. Fortunately, one of the lowest death rates per capita. But my state's economy is getting crushed. Oil and gas, no help from the Biden administration there, which is anti-oil and gas. Commercial fishing, tourism, as it's hurt so many industries. Senator Murkowski and I had a meeting with the CDC director a couple weeks ago. With all due respect to her, she didn't really have a clue on these issues. We had another follow-up meeting with her recently. She gave us a lot of good news. All the guidance on the cruise ships was going to be coming out at the same time. There was going to be needs for new CDC approvals. Cruising in America and Alaska by mid-July was what she thought we could do. None of that turned out to be true. So that's 0 for 2 on meetings with U.S. senators. I think somebody on her staff needs to be held accountable. She's obviously getting really, really bad information from people, but it's really disappointing. But can you, and Ms. Dover, if you have a view on it, give us a sense of why you think it's important to get cruising again, particularly when cruise ship industries executives are coming together saying, hey, we will have it, we'll put an escrow account in if there's funding issues. We will make sure everybody on the ships are vaccinated. There's a whole host of things that can happen that we can do this safely while still taking into account the economy and the health impacts, let's face it, of Americans who are out of work because of this ban?
Sure. Thank you for the question. Again, we really believe that no sector of the travel industry should be unable to be able to reopen. One U.S. job is created just with 30 cruisers. So 30 people on a ship equals one U.S. job. So that is a significant contribution to the U.S. economy. And quite frankly, we think that there need to be clear guidelines so
You're
that
right,
we can see
1 second.
we can reopen this summer. Sorry, am I over time?
And
Oh, okay.
and
Sorry. So I'm sorry, but to finish, we do believe that we need clear guidelines. Very much support the legislation you introduced today. We also don't believe that there should be a vaccine requirement to travel, but we do think that it is an important layer, and we are very much advocating that folks get vaccinated.
And Ms. Dover, do you have a view on any of this? Sorry, Madam Chair, to go over, but I know it's important to Florida too.
Thank you very much, Senator Sullivan, for the question. And to Tory Barnes, she answered it very well. But to just add on to what she said, in Florida, we have over 115,000 jobs that were relying on the cruise industry. The trickle-down effect of what you've mentioned, hotel rooms, restaurants, retail, gas, that is suffering in those areas of Florida that rely so heavily on the cruise industry. So not to mention what an economic engine it is to our state. So I would agree and echo everything that Tory Barnes said about we don't believe that maybe vaccinations are necessary. We know that the cruise line industry has been meeting round the clock to put in safety standards. There's nothing more important to them than the safety and health of the welfare of the people who want to cruise. So no industry is closed. Florida's been open for business for many months, and we certainly believe that our cruise line friends should be allowed to open up for business and get out in the waters and start enjoying life again.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair.